This is Southern Cross News with Rachel Williams.
Good evening, everyone. Tasmanian politicians are gearing up for a fiery week as Parliament returns for the first time since the election. The re-elected Liberal government is set to face the heat on housing issues, political donations and health.
Will Hodgman's re-elected government faces a key test with the next session of Parliament beginning this week. Job number one for the Health Minister, reforms to the structure of the Tasmanian Health Service.
One thing we want to improve the balance on is getting stronger local decision making in local hospitals. So that legislation, which I announced in December, is now ready.
But the government won't get an easy ride, with Labor set to put the heat on the Housing Minister.
I think that Roger Yensch can expect to be in the firing line because of his performance as the Minister. He doesn't seem to be up to the job. He's very hands-off. He's not speaking to those people who are directly feeling the pressure of a very tight housing market.
I think he is showing Tasmanians just exactly what they want to see. A minister who's willing to roll up his sleeves, work hard, deliver on our commitment, including the important outcomes that came out of the Housing Summit.
The Greens have gone from 3 members to 2. Their political play will be a no-confidence motion over political donations in a campaign dominated by the poker machines issue. Labor says it won't support it, but is pushing for greater transparency.
In a democracy such as ours, it shouldn't be the richest person that gets elected. And in the case we have right now, unfortunately, Tasmania has the best government that money could buy.
The insults already flying ahead of a week of politicking. Michael Breen, Southern Cross News.
Parents are being warned to slow down around school zones when students return to class tomorrow. Police will be at locations across the state enforcing the slower speed limit around drop-off and pick-up times.
A timely reminder, it's 2 weeks since the kids have been at school. We'll be out in force looking at school zones, speeding around buses that are dropping off and picking up children, and some of the parking offences associated with the schools.
Police warn they will be active around school zones all week. Hockey Tasmania has been given a last-minute funding lifeline to keep our state teams in the National League. The Tassie Tigers and Van Diemen's were facing massive cost increases for participating in the revamped AHL. The state government is now chipping in $75,000 to meet part of the cost of the next season, while Hockey Tasmania works on long-term funding.
Now, Hockey Tasmania now can go forward and look at sponsorship and look at fundraising. Because we're talking AHL sort of happening in October, November of this year. So now we've actually got that time.
A new feature of the Australian Hockey League will be home and away fixtures, meaning our major state teams will get to play in front of local supporters. Unions, workers and supporters rallied together in Hobart today to celebrate May Day ahead of International Workers' Day. The march launching Change the Rules, a national campaign by the Australian Council of Trade Unions.
We've got at least 15 different unions represented today, from nurses to wharfies to construction workers. So it's one time where it doesn't matter what industry you come from, where you work, what sort of job you do, that we all celebrate the things that we've won to make our workplaces better. Nationwide rallies will continue this coming week. Hundreds of thrill-seeking bike riders have spent the weekend ripping up the gravel at the Medina Gravity Fest. Competitors speeding down steep slopes, racing against each other and a world champion.
These brave bike riders are preparing to race down rocky terrain towards the finish line. Today, marking the final day of a jam-packed weekend in Medina, with riders racing against Enduro World Series champion Sam Hill.
Yeah, really enjoying it. It's the first time to Medina Bike Park, and really impressed with what they've made here.
It's our first Gravity Fest event, so the idea is it's a 3-day program running across multiple different courses up on the hill. So we've got a flow race, which is a bit gentler. That was on Friday. We've got an Air DH race, which is focused on jumps, and then we've got a technical race today.
Sam has made a special trip from Perth to Tassie to take part in this event. The riding community and the scenery proving a winner with the extreme sport champion.
Just meeting all new people as well to get to ride with. It's been awesome, and having some local guys take us down some different tracks has been good.
Yeah, look, it's always great for us to get some big name riders down. We've had quite a few down over the course of the first few weeks of the park being open, so it's good they come down, they give us lots of great feedback and obviously go back and spread the message for other people to come down and visit.
It's nice to come over here and ride some foresty, real nice dirt and stuff like that compared to what we have back home.
A great turnout for what might become an annual event. Ruby Kamain, Southern Cross News.
Nearly 16,000 people packed into UTAS Stadium last night to see the Hawks account for St Kilda by 35 points. Hawthorn kept its nose in front all night, with the result putting the team inside the top 4. UTAS Stadium under lights got off to a bang.
I think this is the greatest fireworks in the VFL AFL game ever, I'd say.
Meant to be the biggest and longest display ever.
Although Luke Darcy had a momentary slip-up.
Coming to you live from Launceston in Hobart tonight.
Different parts of the state, there is no Hobart.
That's disappointing.
Luke Bruce had no trouble seeing the big sticks.
Just does it superbly.
The account now open, Isaac Smith began his night out.
Hit that beautifully. Hawks have got their second.
His first of 4 goals. The Saints were their own worst enemy.
Has to be the Saints first. Oh no! From point blank range, he's dumped it into the post.
This howler, the worst of a woeful start in front of goal. It took midway through the second quarter for the Saints to finally score a major.
Saints on the board finally.
The Saints clawed back to be within 2 goals at the main break, and a cat-and-mouse third term had the margin down to a point. Some Hawks used aerial acrobatics to get the edge, but Jack Gunston preferred pure skill.
Has kicked that absolutely beautifully.
The Saints had no answers in the final term, the Hawks kicking away.
Gunston front and centre, around the body snap from Jackie Boy.
A 6-2 final quarter sealed the deal, Jarman Impey icing the 35-point win.
It was a bit slippery, a bit dewy, and we probably didn't adapt to the conditions quick enough, which kept St Kilda in it. And yeah, it was a pretty low-scoring affair, but in that last quarter, it was good to be able to put the foot down and kick some goals. And
local fans got a piece of the action this morning out on the Oval. Hawthorn putting on a clinic to cap off last night's win. Craig Moller has led the Hobart Chargers to a much-needed win in last night's Siebel clash against Sandringham. The 6'8" power forward scoring 27 points to help the side to its 3rd win of the season. The Chargers were in great shape from the outset, Craig Moller banking the first points of the game before a gutsy 3-pointer courtesy of Trey Nichols, his first of 22. The Chargers left very few gaps defensively.
Not in my house, Trey Nichols!
Desperation delighting those at the deck, along with the cross-court class of Moller, taking on the entire Sabres squad from end to end in a single-handed effort which looked all too easy. The Chargers outscored Sandringham in every period to finish with a healthy 24-point win. A mid-game slump dented the home side's hopes in the women's game. Brittany Smart was a standout, sinking 25 points. Kathleen Shear also invaluable. But her night took a nasty twist, going down with an injury and needing to be helped from the court by teammates. It finished off a disappointing result, Hobart 90, Sandringham 97. Devonport has broken through in added time to beat Olympia 4-3 in the Lacko Seljack Cup. In other quarter-final action today, Northern Rangers demolished Taruna 6-0, which included a hat-trick from Argentinian striker Federico Cano. In other games, South Hobart has eliminated Hobart Zebras from the competition after its 5-1 win, while Launceston City enjoyed a 4-1 victory over Hobart United. Richie Port remains 3rd overall in the Tour de Romandie. Port toughing out 5 climbs during stage 4 last night, along with some nerve-wracking descents in a high-speed finish. The Tasmanian crossed the line in 5th to be 35 seconds behind the overall leader heading into tomorrow's final stage. It's been a weekend of surfing action in Tasmania's southeast, with a record number of entries for the 2018 Southern Challenge. In the major events at Nabina, Marty Paradises and Dara Penfold took out the open men's and women's titles, while today there were lighter swells at South Arm for the team events.
We've had the biggest open event held in Tasmania for, I reckon, nearly 15 years, which has been awesome. We've managed to attract surfers junior surfers that have gone away and now have come back.
The Southern Challenge is held in memory of Tasmanian surfing legend Paul Johannesson.
Good evening. A fine autumn day across the state, just some light showers in the southwest. Hobart reached 18, Launceston, Burnie and Devonport all 19 degrees. Elsewhere, Flinders Island, Smithton, Lowhead and Ouse all 18, King Island 17, 16 at Grove and Strawn, Lyowenny 13 the top there. On the close-up today, mid to high level cloud over the state, moving from the southwest. And as we look further afield, mid to high level cloud over the state as mentioned, and also over the Southern Ocean, with a cloud band just off southern New South Wales. Tomorrow, a high over Victoria will extend over most of Australia. A trough runs along the WA coast. Coastal waters and winds at 10 to 20 knots about the north, up to 30 knots about the south, and 20 knot winds for the southwest lakes, swells up to 5 metres in the west and south. And with that comes a strong wind warning from Tasman Island to Low Rocky Point, and from Cape Portland to St Helens Point. Also a small craft wind alert for the southwest lakes. The forecast now: Hobart a fine day and 20, Dover and Ouse both 19, Launceston a partly cloudy day and 20, 19 in Devonport, Scottsdale fine and 18, Burnie 19 tomorrow, a cloudy day on the way for Strawn, and Stanley expecting 18, 20 the top for St Helens, 21 at Swansea, and finally Ross a fine day and 18 degrees. As we look ahead to the 3-day forecast, showers on Tuesday about the west, fine elsewhere with some fog patches in the north, fine on Wednesday with areas of fog once again in the north, and finally Thursday, showers developing in the west and extending statewide in the afternoon with some winds to kick off the first day of AgFest. A look at the capital cities now: Darwin fine and 33, Brisbane 25, Sydney a shower 21, Adelaide sunny and 24, morning fog for Melbourne 19 the top. And right now it's 14 degrees in Hobart, Launceston mostly clear and 13, Devonport partly cloudy and 13. Rach, that's Saturday's weather. Sunday's weather, right?
You're a day behind schedule. Thank you for that, Laura. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rachel Williams. Good night.